What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link, they also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting me. Anyway, this video is entitled, Let's Talk About Toxic Motherhood. Man, I was listening to something today while I was working out at the gym, and it just hit me like a light. Lightning, all that, right? We don't talk about toxic motherhood. And I'm not talking about toxic mothers. I'm talking about this idea of motherhood that I've been hearing for so long from these women that I didn't even think about. What do I mean by this? There are a lot of women who want to be mothers, which is a natural instinct for women, right? But that's all they want. They want to be mothers. Having a family and raising a child is like an afterthought. I want to be a mother. And I didn't think about it, but it's like, this is toxic. And this is a lot of the reasons for a lot of these problems, because you got kids that used to be, women that used to be young girls. They wanted to have a baby. You know, some young women used to say, I want to have a baby because I want something to love me. That's a toxic way to bring life into the world. And before I keep going further, the vast majority of these scenarios with the way women want to be mothers, fatherhood and family are not really in the picture. It's just not. And I didn't think about it, but I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because I was listening to a woman talk about it, you know. Because you got the women that are young, and then you got the women, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a degree, I'm going to get my education, I'm going to get a degree, I'm going to get a good job, I'm going to find a career, and then when I'm settled, now it's time to be a mother. See, that skips. That skips the relationship part. When they're young, that I want something to love me, want somebody to love me, skips the relationship part with the man that you need to create this child, right? And I'm going to go and get an education and build a career, and then I want to be a mother afterwards. That skips the relationship with the man also. So this is toxic. And you wonder why there's all these fallouts with these men. Is because these men don't like being used. And we're not talking about that enough, because what happens for the most part is you're getting what you want out of the equation because you want to be a mother, but you don't really want the responsibilities of motherhood. And I think that's very, very toxic behavior. Because when you see mothers stressed out, single mothers stressed out, it's the same story. Not exactly the same, but you hear the same stories over and over again. But what you also notice is nobody planned for these stories. Nobody says, okay, I've been down that road. I know how to handle this. We're going to do it this way. That's not a part of the equation, which is very interesting to me, because that means this whole setup is toxic for the women who've had kids and now they're single mothers. And it's also just as toxic for the women who are the support system to the single mother, because nobody got ahead of the curve and say, okay, these are the lessons that I've learned from wanting to be a mother in this way. So it's very, very problematic. And we don't talk about how problematic this winds up being. And it plays out on the kids. Because the mother knows best ideology is mother knows best even when mama's wrong. So mom can be wrong as long as she's a mother. And her being wrong, her being a mother trumps being wrong, but the wrong affects the children. But that doesn't matter because she's a mother. So this is not in the best interest of the children. This is in the best interest of the the mantra or the pedestal or the position of motherhood. See, you can be a bad mother in society and keep your kid. Think about that. Toxic motherhood. It's that toxic in America where you can put your kid your kid can get raped, your kid can get beaten, your kid can cause trouble to society, and the society keeps giving you a chance after chance after chance until the kid reaches adulthood, and then it's their fault. That's toxic. When you can raise a child badly, but when that child becomes an adult, that child is responsible for being raised badly because now they hit adult age legally. That's toxic motherhood. And then you don't look back and say, oh, because that situation, you can always say that kid's messed up because that kid got daddy issues. But the majority of these kids live with mom. And the reason why I said toxic motherhood is because, like I said in the beginning of this video, there are a lot of women who don't look at having a man in the equation. They're thinking, I want to get pregnant. I want kids. Matter of fact, how many single women have you met that said they wanted to have kids? But they never said they wanted to be a wife. They never said they wanted to be in a relationship. They never said I want more kids. That's a toxic mindset. That's the same as when you say guys running around here, man, I want some more kids. I want more kids. And I can have as many kids as I want. Okay. So having this ideology, we don't want to talk about how it X's these kids out. And then you want to have these kids young, you want to have these kids old. But in the sweet spot when you're supposed to have them, you don't want to have them. So, how can I say this? So the big deal in all of this is if you want to get rid of them, you want to have an abortion, it's your body, your choice. So you're going to have them if you want, you're going to get rid of them if you want, and if you have them, you're going to raise them however you want. And if you do bad, if you don't raise them well, it's their fault, or it's daddy issues. There is no accountability for motherhood nowadays. Nobody's saying your mama messed up. That's not what's been said. Like, mothers ain't doing a good job. When they had even these school shooters, and their parents got divorced and blah blah blah. Really? So the father wasn't in the house. So when the father's gone, this guy turns into a school shooter. So that should say something about the toxic mothering, right? Or when you hear some of these young sisters who you see are in these videos, I was a stripper at 16. Where were you living at 16? Oh, with my mama. So you mean to tell me your mama didn't notice you going out at night at 16 and coming back 2, 3, 4 in the morning on a regular basis? Especially Friday, Saturday. Maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning kind of. You know what I'm saying? Didn't notice that? These kids who were in the streets selling drugs, the boys. Mama didn't know that? Yeah, she knew that. All these kids who want to play sports and be something famous and productive and rich so they can save their mama. Isn't that toxic? To the point where you got to put a battery in a child's back to make them pull you up out of the situation you created for yourself. So you put the onus of your child giving you a better life than you gonna give yourself because you had the child. Is that toxic motherhood or not? Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.